Give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. And double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai Shai and Yahweh Shai Brakatham to the overall elect whom this gospel is for. And I just want to briefly respond to this comment which was made, Drew 9539, and as well as I've posted back to him how the question that he was posing, which, of course, it was going to lead to an argument as I saw it. So then I said, this is an exceedingly weak argument. Plus, we've gone through this a million times with people already. Just like everybody else, you've been lied to. And that's really what I want to get at in this video here. A lot of people have been lied to believe, first and foremost, that the people that are in our land today are the official Jews that the Bible speaks about, when in fact that could be further away from the truth. Just by the mere fact that they call themselves Jewish speaks a whole lot that they're not the people. I mean, they may do here and there things that we did when we were there, but you can do all of that as much as you will, but you will never be the people. All right? Because to be a Jew, you have to come from the tribe of Judah. All right? It's a nationality thing. It's not a religious thing, period. All right? So I don't know if he's coming from, that side of town, or he's just a regular person that disagrees with the fact that we are the Israelites, which that's prophecy in itself in the book of Hosea, the first chapter, where it speaks on that, how in the land where it was said we are not the people, there it will be declared that we are the sons of the living power, which would mean that we're the Israelites that the Bible speaks about. All right. So I just want to briefly respond to, this question in a video sense. And I want to first read this as well. Isaiah 5 and verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, and that putteth darkness for light and light for darkness, that putteth bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. And that's this world in general. This world has put darkness for light. In other words, lies. Lies have saturated this planet Earth, and his wisdom and his understanding has affected a lot of people in the sense that they've been taught lies and they're living by these same lies at the same time. So when the truth is declared, people get shaken up emotionally, and they can't accept what's being said, because for so long they've been under these lies, to the point where it's comfortable to believe in lies rather than to bear witness to the truth, And I mean, of course, people that are of this world, especially these Edomites, it doesn't benefit them whatsoever for them to accept the notion that we are the people of the Bible, or let me say it even better, the people of the Most High, because now they have to confront the fact that their own people has afflicted our people. These are the people that you have done all kind of heinous things to. And yet it comes out that these are the people of the Most High. All right. But no matter what, that's something that Esau has to confront, because the truth ain't going nowhere. And the truth in this case is that we are the Israelites that the Bible speaks about, So I want to read this as well. Isaiah 60 and verse 1. Arise and shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And that's what's happening right now. The light of the Lord is being seen. And because we have the light of the Lord, now we're able to see the reality that we didn't see before when we wasn't in the truth. See, when you was in this dark room, and I mean this figuratively, just giving it a little bit of analogy here, it's kind of like when you're in this room, right, and you have, knives on the floor, you have all kinds of equipment that can harm you, right? And, or you may have broken glass in this environment, any sharp object that can bring harm to you. So if you're in this dark room and you're walking in the midst of this dark room, you don't know that this stuff is there. But you'll know how dangerous that environment is when you have the light in that room. So because we have the light, now we see the reality the way that we should have seen it before we came into the truth. Okay? And what we're realizing is that even to include people have been misnamed. Now, nationalities are declared in the Bible as to who these people really are. We talk about the people of East India, who they are, and the people of Persia, who they are. They're what you would be considered as the people of Elam. All right. The people of Syria would be the people of Ashur, or the Ashurites. And the list goes on, because that's who they really are. These are their biblical terms. So instead of calling these people by their current name, which is a false name, we're calling them by their biblical nationality, all right, which the Lord gave them. So that's what it means, that gross darkness to people, because people have been lied to, misnamed, and everything. Okay. And so much so that people believe that the people that's in the land now are the people, when in fact that could be further away from the truth, just like I said. All right. And as well as he was posing a question to me that you can't be an Israelite because your mother isn't an Israelite. That's a lie in itself. And what I did was I brought a precept out to shut that argument down and put that argument where it belongs, right behind the truth. Numbers 1:18, and they assembled all of the congregation. This is from the LSB. I believe this stands for. Matter of fact, let me go and do that real quick. Let me go see what it stands for. LSB. I didn't think I was going to forget it. Yeah, Legacy Standard Bible. So you got to check these different versions out, which is what brothers are starting to do. And I haven't really been doing it, but I'm starting to get used to doing that, because sometimes these other versions, man, they shoot more straightforward than the KJV at times. So this is the Legacy Standard Bible, Numbers 1:18, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first of the second month. Then they registered by genealogy and their families by their fathers' households, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward, head by head. So they claim to believe in the Old Testament and the Torah, but in the Old Testament and the Torah, it actually says contrary to what they say it is on who you are and who you are, which is based. All right. They say it's based on the mother's side, which determines your nationality. No, it's your father, which carries the XY's chromosome. So when you're talking about the genes here, you get your genetics from your father. Okay. Hence is why the term father itself means origin, because that's who you come from originally. Before you came in the womb of your mother, you was a sperm floating around in your father's nutsack. Just to be a little bit graphic here, so you can see the point. Okay, so you descend from your fathers, and who your father is basically who you're going to be, nationality wise. Now you may look like your mother, but your genetics goes back to your originer, which is your father. All right. According to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward, head by head, because the father carries the seed, which is known as what? The sperm, or in the Greek, sperma. Okay. So yeah, I want to read something else here as well. I think I've read that already, actually. Yeah, let me delete this over here. Yeah, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So being that, once again, we have this light, which is this truth, we know even to include how our enemy is. All right? Because we were told that Esau was good, and our government had our best interests at heart, which they continue to convey, which they don't. But when you read the Bible and you find out who you are, you find out simultaneously who your enemy is. Okay, and the enemy of our people are indeed the Edomites. They call themselves Europeans of many various names, but they're the biblical Edomites. And all throughout history, the relations between so-called black people and so-called white people hasn't been very good. All right, and they've always been on the offensive, expressing their hatred against you tribes out there. And when I say you tribes, I'm talking about you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, who in tandem collectively represents the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Okay, and Esau has showed you, and again, when I say Esau, I'm talking about the Edomites, because that's another name you can call them. All right, so by far from history, even unto this current moment, they've showed their hatred against you. They've showed you that they're their enemy. There's nothing else that they can show you than otherwise. All right, but to show you that they are your enemy and they're the enemy of nature itself. All right, so yeah. So once we reveal who this devil is, beginning with the elder apostles, as this is written again, as I'm going to read, then shall that wicked be revealed when the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is declaring the truth as to who he is, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So once he's revealed through us, then guess what? The Lord is going to destroy him next. That's why you see the Israelites out in the street or doing these day-to-day lessons as we do it. All right? We're here to tell you the truth, that the Messiah is coming back to destroy this devil, in this case of the topic. And even the wicked among our people as well. And that's why, we'll also tell you, if you happen to watch this video, you happen to come across the Israelites, primarily a great millstone, because, we're dealing with the 100% truth here. We're going to tell you to repent before the Lord comes back, because when he comes back and you haven't, then, you're going to be a part of that elk that's going to basically die out here. All right. And the ones of our people that don't get this truth, they're going to take this mark and they're going to be destroyed. What is the mark? The mark of the beast system, which is coming in. The implantable device. Okay. So that's what's coming, man. So our people have to repent before the Lord comes back. The scripture says, before judgment, examine yourselves. Because judgment is coming, man. But in this case of the topic, these devils have lied to the world, and people have been under these lies for centuries. And so even the Lord is going to reward them for that. Revelations 12:9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. And he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Let's read this again. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. Now, where it means that old serpent, which is referring to this devil, spiritually they descend all the way back to the in the reincarnation, the serpent in the garden. That's really where these Edomites, or the so-called white man, stems back to. So they're the reincarnation of, or should I say, they're the offsprings of the seed of the serpent. And by the way, the serpent in the garden wasn't an actual serpent. It was an actual man that had the attributes of a serpent, very cunning and divisive. All right, as it is written as well, when Esau was born, it spoke about his character attribute, that he was a cunning hunter. Okay, so to be cunning, you can't be stupid. So that's how this Edomite was able to get up in Adam, was through different forms of deception. But guess what? The Lord is going to still bring him down out of power, because the Lord basically put him in a position of power for a particular reason and for a season in time. So as this reads, in Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, and this is basically what Esau is. This is what the so-called white man is. He's known as Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, especially in this revival version of Rome. He's deceived the whole world. But in ancient Rome, he didn't deceive the whole world, because Rome only went but so far. All right. If I'm correct, Rome was within as far as the Mediterranean see. Okay, if I'm correct on that. So Rome didn't come around all around the planet Earth. It's just that it's happening right now. This Rome has done that. So Esau's lies has proliferated all around the earth to include, all right, which deceived the whole world. And he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Yeah. So what I wanted to say as well, what I should have said, Salakia, is that his influence has been brought all around the planet Earth, rather than it was since the old Rome, all right, which was casted out. But the Lord is basically gonna make a second return and physically destroy this devil out of power. And that's why these powers that be, which the Lord has set to be in the position of power, are seeing what they call AUPs or the UFOs, right? Which that's what's gonna do it. What they call the UFOs or AUPs, we know them as the angels of the Lord. And there's a great fathership which will be coming on its way. And the Messiah is going to be heading in that, destroying this civilization wholly. And this is what we, the servants, the prophets, are telling you. And just by the mere signs that we see as the apostles, the disciples were told of Yahweh Shai, proves that his time is near to come upon the earth. Okay? So that's all I have to really say on this right here. You know, people have been lied to for so many years about, you know, who's the Israelites and who ain't. And, you know, your mother determines your nationality. And again, that's not the case at all, because that's not in the Bible. So if it ain't in the Bible, where else did they get this from? They concocted that lie. All right. So that's all I got to say with this, man. I want to give all of the praise and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashem Shai Bashem Rakah Kwadash. And with that, I'm closing. Shalom.